Hello, welcome to the live stream. My name's Rachel, and I'm going to do free life card readings today. My kitties are in here with me today, so hopefully they behave. Fingers crossed. I gave them their catnip toys, so hopefully there's one back there playing with her catnip toy, and her brother is looking at her with envy. To get started here, I'm just going to do a general reading, a general message for the day. I'm going to start with an oracle card, the Starseed Oracle with Rebecca Campbell. And then I do this every Friday. I might change the time just because my schedule is changing. But I also, if you are new to me, I host a full moon ceremony every month as well. The replay is available for that. I did that this past Tuesday. I'll put a link in the description once I post this. I don't know if I put one in there before when I set this up initially. So I'll make sure it's in there after the live. Okay. If you would like a card read, you can put a question in the chat, or if you just want a general reading, you can just say general reading. I'm just doing a general message for the day right now. Okay. The Courageous Peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Here's this card. I love the artwork in Rebecca Campbell's decks. I love the messages too, and I love that she connects to flowers so much. You know, she has a whole deck called the Rose Oracle. I don't have that one, but I love that it's just flower related, and I love peonies. They're so beautiful. Multifaceted, unique nature. Yeah, I mean, there's such a call for us to be our authentic selves these days, to really tune into what's true for us, despite what's going on around us, despite what people have told us we need to do or be, or how we need to express ourselves. Let yourself be seen, it also says. And it's like that can be challenging, right? And that's why it says the Courageous Peony, because it does take courage to let that version of yourself be seen. My cats, they're so funny. It takes courage, and that's something that I'm working with right now too. I joined an improv class recently, and it's with the intention of, yes, I want to be creative in a different way. I want to learn kind of a creative expression in performance and in acting, but also there's a lot of intention behind it to help me be myself and just express myself and who I really am. And it's been very challenging and triggering. All of my self-esteem issues are coming up with it. So like, you know, sometimes it's easier said than done to, you know, be yourself, right? That's everyone's saying like, be yourself. How do I do that though? You know, when things are uncertain and people might judge us, right? So I'm going to pull some supporting energy cards here with the tarot. So let's just get some more information about this oracle message here, about being ourselves. Okay, cards falling out. And another card. Okay, so the cards that popped out, we have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Justice card. Show you them here. We have the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which is a vibrant kind of energy there, and that's nice to have come through. This Knight of Cups. Kitty, hey, where's your ball, kitty? This Knight of Cups, it feels like to me the Knight of Cups is such a I feel with all of the knights, I feel a protective energy, but with the Knight of Cups, it's like the cups represent love. It's, the water element of the tarot deck. And with the Knight of Cups, it feels like there is this like delivery happening of like bringing this like divine love through, specifically in this reading right here. It feels like this divine love coming through, but I'm also feeling this love of self. And again, that's something that I struggle with too. If you also struggle with it, it can be challenging, right? Because we have um wounds, right? From childhood, from even adulthood, right? Like, I know that there's a lot of weight put on like what happens in your childhood affects you. Okay, I'm gonna let my cat out because she's not happy. Kitty, I gave you your toy and you still want to go out? You can't come back in if you go out. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Usually I keep them out, but I wanted to see if they would behave today, and they did not pass the test, even with their catnip toys. So coming back into this, it's like this Knight of Cups energy, right? The self-love that can come from this, of like having this, like, I don't know if dedication is the right word, but devotion to like being there for yourself. And especially like, I don't know, I'm feeling that with this Justice card too. It feels like a commitment, I suppose, to taking care of yourself and being there for yourself when you need yourself, right? Like I feel like a lot of us are going through this process of reparenting ourselves and learning how to work with parts of ourselves that might be causing issues for us in our lives, right? The self-sabotage, the inability to do what we want to do, what we know we need to do, right? Trying to change our habits, but not being able to, right? But there is just so much supportive energy coming from the non-physical for us to move forward with those things, but it can be challenging, definitely. And like this Two of Pentacles here, it's all about balance. It's all about not overdoing it, like knowing how to ebb and flow with what's coming at you and what you're putting out as well. Adaptability is really, really just a valuable quality attribute. I watch a lot of Survivor. And adaptability is like the number one thing to be able to handle the situations that like those people are experiencing, right? And it can be a reflection of the real world, because we don't always know what is going to be coming at us or what is going to happen next. We might have an idea of it, but things change, timelines change. We have free will, so we can choose something different than what we expected. Other people have free will, so they can choose something different than what we expected. And so, life happens, and it's really about how are you working with what you are being given. And that was an energy that came up in the full moon reading, and the full moon is today. The full moon reading that I did in the full moon ceremony, it was this energy of like, how are you working with what you're being given and where you're being led? And let me just tune back into these cards here and see what other energies might be coming through with these tarot messages. Yeah, and like the Justice card is balance as well, right? Like I said, that it felt like there's this commitment energy in this Justice card, but justice, it's very much about balance. Like, they're literally holding the scale. It's associated with Libra. And it feels like knowing when to stop is kind of what's coming through, knowing when to rest, knowing when to let something go, knowing when to let something die, essentially, whatever it is, because like life is cyclical. Relationships are cyclical. We go through seasons, like things change, things come to an end, right? Nothing is permanent. All of this is temporary, which can be a challenging thing to grasp. But yeah, it feels like this, like getting in tune with your own flow, your own rhythm of how you operate personally and how you are able to show up for yourself, right? Like, what do you need to do to show up for yourself so that you can be yourself and feel safe expressing yourself? Because that's the big thing, is that, like, it doesn't always feel safe to express ourselves because, like I said, our various wounds that we've experienced. Um, because maybe it wasn't safe to express ourselves when we were kids, or maybe just in our friend groups growing up, right? Or as adults, maybe something really embarrassing happened to us, and it made us want to not be vulnerable ever again. It's really, really, it can be challenging to be vulnerable and express yourself and show who you really are when in the past you have been hurt by doing that very thing, by showing up as yourself and being yourself and expressing yourself. So it really is about this like self-love that we can bring through to nurture ourselves, and this like reparenting energy that was coming up. um yeah, if you would like a card pulled, you can ask a question in the chat, or you can just say you would like a general reading. I'm going to continue to pull some cards for our message today. Okay, I'm going to pull another oracle card actually from the Ancient Stones Oracle, another Rebecca Campbell deck. I really resonate with her work. Okay. Hi, I'm good. How are you? What question would you like to ask? Okay, and so our second oracle message, you can just put your question in the chat whenever I'm just doing like a general reading for the day. And so our second oracle card here is creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. So much connected to this card here, with the let yourself be seen, the courageous peony energy, and creativity. Like, I feel like so many of us don't feel connected with creativity because we don't have like a specific modality that we are creative through. Like maybe we don't know how to draw. That was my thing for a long time. Like, I don't know how to draw, so that means I'm not an artist and I'm not creative. And then I got into dance and I do macrame and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like I am creative. I feel like it can be challenging for people to connect to their creativity, but the energy of creativity, it's not just about like making art. It can be just about like your life. Like, how are you creating your life? Like, what are you bringing to the picture, right? Like, what are you bringing into your relationships, into the opportunities that you're showing up for, right? Like, how are you connecting to your true self, this energy of you know authentic and honest self-expression? How are you connecting to that energy in order to tune into your creative potentials, right? Because if you are familiar with law of attraction and manifestation, like, we are creating our realities, right? We can intentionally create our realities. We can choose the energies that we want to hold and bring into our lives. And this card, it says trust your vision, right? And to me, that speaks so much to connecting to your truth and like this like self-love I was talking about earlier too, like connecting to that so that you can feel safe and comfortable with yourself, um, and the way that you want to show up in the world, right? For anyone else who just popped on, if you want to ask a question, you can put your question in the chat, or you can say you just want a general reading. I'm just doing a daily message right now, just a general daily message. Yeah, and like with this creativity card, like the Wheel of Fortune came up, right? And this speaks to changes, it speaks to opportunities, things happening that maybe were unexpected. This came up in the full moon reading and the full moon ceremony as well, and today is the full moon, and so it's interesting that this is here again. But this really, the Wheel of Fortune talks about it, like energetically presents the opportunities that are coming for us, that like we don't always know what we're going to get, but if we bring some intentionality into it, like accessing our creativity, our creative potential, if we bring some intention behind what we're working with, we can create more aligned opportunities for ourselves. And we have the Six of Pentacles here as well. This card, to me, it always feels so much like reciprocity. We had these energies of balance come up with this card around letting yourself be seen, of like understanding your balance, kind of understanding your limits, like where you need to set boundaries with others and with yourself so that you can feel comfortable and safe expressing yourself. And this Six of Pentacles here, it feels like the ebb and flow of our energies, of our moods almost. It feels like getting connected with how we operate, how we, like what's going on in our internal world, right? Like what's going on within us, and how do we honor what we're experiencing while also showing up in the world the way that we want to. It feels like a balance, right? It feels like the intentionality I was speaking to, but also this understanding that like things aren't going to be perfect all the time. And that's something that I have struggled with in the past, for sure. In the past, currently, even, it can be challenging to have things not go as expected, right? It can be frustrating. It's not always fun. And then we have the Eight of Wands. This card came up a lot last week too. Yeah, the Eight of Wands with this energy too. This card always speaks to action, like kind of fast moving action sometimes. It can feel, this card feels a little bit more masculine to me, this kind of like forward momentum, this commitment energy that I was speaking to earlier feels like it's coming through too, like doing the things that you need to do in order to take care of yourself, right? Like doing the self-care items, the self-care acts that help you feel connected and aligned. Okay, I'm going to pull a card and see like how can we best work with these energies? Or actually, I'm going to start with why are these energies coming up right now? The King of Cups. Yeah, it's so that we can like master our emotions, not let our emotions take us, run rampant through us and help like cause us to not be able to bring logic into our life. Logic is important, intuition is also important. I tend to lean a little bit more towards the flow and intuitive side of things, but I'm also good with rational thought and logic. I think that it's important to have both, but to discern what you need in the moment with what you're working with, right? Like, what do you need more of? Do you need more logic and rational thought in what you're dealing with, or do you need more intuitive information, right? And a little bit more flow. And the King of Cups energy, it's the cups is the water energy and the king is fire energy. And it feels like a honing of your fire in combination with your emotions. Okay. You'd like a general reading. Let me get my cards together here and I will do a general message for you. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay. So we have the Four of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Four of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. And this Wheel of Fortune card was just out with that general message that I was doing for the day too. And this feels like connecting it with this Eight of Pentacles and this Four of Wands energy. It can be a foundation. It can be associated with the home, but it also has this like celebration energy. The Eight of Pentacles is about work, putting in the effort and the work. If you see him, he's doing his job, chiseling away at the coin, I suppose. And then this Wheel of Fortune, this feels like a willingness to do what you need to do in order to bring what you want into your life. It feels like maybe there are some things you've been putting off that are more aligned for you in order to like bring more okay, yeah. This feels like, so bringing that energy in, hoping that you don't have that connection with your past loved. It feels like, okay, yeah. So that really does connect with these cards here. And like, this can be like creating a safe space for yourself. And this can be like doing the I don't know if you do any kind of like energy work or meditation or visualization or anything, but for situations like what you're working with right now, what you're dealing with, if you feel like someone's draining your energy but they're not in your life anymore, something that you can do is create a shield of light around you to protect you from their energy. But also, it could be like with this Eight of Pentacles card here, it could be that you have some like emotional processing to do around that relationship that is like there are some loose ends that need to be tied up. Like there's something that isn't complete in how you left it just within yourself, maybe. I mean, it could be with the other person, but if you're feeling like if you're not in relationship with this other person still and you feel like their energy, like your energy is being drained by them, it could be that you need to kind of cut ties, so to speak. Yeah, definitely. Like that's being in focused on yourself and in unconditional love. Like that is so healing and powerful. And doing what you can to do that. So if you are able to connect with like your own energy, and creating a shield around you to to kind of set an energetic boundary, an emotional boundary with this person so that you can move on from it. You don't have to have a conversation with the person about it. They don't have to be present for it or anything. Like, you can just do it all yourself. We are all very powerful when it comes to working with energy. We've been told that we're not, but we are. We have the ability to set energetic boundaries and like energetically separate ourselves from someone. I do have a free guided meditation that is it's a centering meditation. It helps you get connected to your own energy. That might be something that would be helpful for you if that seems interesting to you. There might be a link in the description. If not, then I'll put a link in the description after I finish here. And it's posted on there. And that was a problem in my energy, but I just started processing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So also another practice that could be helpful is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with cord cutting, but if you take some time to get centered in yourself, you can visualize these cords that are physically attached to you in the energy space, but coming out of your body that are connected to this other person, and taking them and intentionally cutting them to release your energy from this person. Um, that might be something that's helpful. I think that using those in combination with maybe some journaling around the relationship, and if you have any unresolved feelings around it so that you can be free. Maybe there's some resentment there or just something that didn't feel right, didn't sit right with you in there. Doing some journaling and emotional processing around that might be helpful, because you do also have the Wheel of Fortune here, right? And that can bring up, yeah. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that like things like that happen in relationships, that like you have a beautiful connection, but then people change, right? And that's Wheel of Fortune energy too. It's like we don't always know what we're going to get, but this card does speak to like potential opportunities, like future opportunities for something new, something more aligned with what you want, right? And like I feel like this Four of Wands card, it does speak to getting into alignment. So yeah, like getting connected to your energy and getting clear on what you want and doing the practices to release them from your energy field is going to be what's probably going to help quite a bit with that. I hope that this helped. Okay, so I'm going to go on to, I'm actually going to pull a card for the full moon. I did my, I had the, I did a tarot reading in my full moon ceremony for the full moon, but I would love to pull an oracle card for the full moon to tune into the energy of the full moon with our oracle deck here. Okay, had a couple pop out. Okay, and then this one too. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of life. I feel like I'm on the same page as you. I just want all my problems to go away, to like stop coming up, right? Like I feel like I resolve something and then like it comes up in a different way or a different area of life. Yeah, I feel that. It's sometimes really, really hard to keep going when they start to pile up like that. I'm kind of in that place right now actually where I'm just like, are we gonna like get better? Are things gonna get better? Are we gonna move on from this, you know? um and I just for me I have to keep going. Yeah, it does feel weird. Okay, so this message for our full moon today, the full moon is in Taurus. And I try to be. When I get into this space where I can do readings, I get centered, and I connect to, my higher vibrational energies. I'm able to bring that through when I do this work because I love this work. This is really, really aligned for me. Okay, so we have pave your own way, leadership, courage, forge, don't follow. We have hidden treasure, you're on the right track, gift revealed, and wisdom keeper, a new perspective, study, and learning. This energy feels very magical to me. Especially with this like hidden treasure energy, even with the wisdom keeper energy, but like this pave your own way, this is very much like aligned with the initial general message that I was doing earlier. And it feels like it's my kitty scratching at the door. Sorry about the noise. It feels like really taking the actions that like set yourself apart from your past self. It feels like seeing the clear distinction between who you used to be and who you are right now and who you're becoming, right? And how can you like meld together? Is that the word, meld? Feels like a weird word. Like bring together who you are right now and who you are bringing in from the future, right? So in this hidden treasure card, it says you are on the right track, gift revealed. I truly believe that like, yes, we make mistakes and we have our faults and we do things that are out of alignment, but I believe that those things happen in order to help us get back on the right track, right? On the track that's like aligned for us, that we are meant for. It can be hard to see that in the moment when we're dealing with something that doesn't feel aligned for us, but I do believe that like we need to experience what we don't want so that we can figure out what we do want, because we have endless choices being human on earth. Like there are so many things um that we can do. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. That's so nice. Thank you. Um, I try to bring my best when I'm here. Um, but yeah, I feel like, if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, they speak about the contrast and going through the things that we don't like so that we can get clear on what we do want. Um, and then this wisdom keeper energy, it's like I'm feeling this energy of like this full moon is bringing us into alignment with who we are meant to be and with like our inner knowing, our inner wisdom. Taurus is an earth sign, and I feel like it's really common in the spiritual community to have a disconnect from the physical. I know that there is a lot of practice in the spiritual community around connecting with the earth in order to get grounded and experience healing. But I also feel like connecting with the earth helps us connect to ourselves, right? Because the earth is our home right now. And if we can connect to our earth energy within us, it can help us feel more us, right? Like us in our human expression. That's interesting. Okay. And then I am going to pull just one supporting, maybe a couple supporting tarot cards here around this message. The Empress. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Empress, I mean, she's in nature, right? And like speaking to this earth energy here, it's like connecting to the abundance of earth, connecting to the physical support of earth. The Empress is so much about receiving. I feel like there's the manifestation energy in there, um, and abundance, right? And it feels very much like connecting to our earth energy to help us get centered in these like actions that we're taking that are differentiating who we are from our past self and our future self, right? Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to call it quits for the day. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. I'm going to be doing live streams weekly. I might be doing like a weekly energy reading. I do a monthly energy reading here. Um, and I might do a live weekly energy reading. I don't know. I'm new to the streaming stuff, and so I'm finding my way with it by the trial and error of of seeing what works and what people enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Yes, good to meet you too. Okay, bye.